Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to our second video where we're reading the questions and answers from chapter 9, which is the last chapter in Saint Germain, Earth's Birth Changes, channeled through Azina Ramonda. So let's go ahead and just keep moving right along with this long question and answer section, which I personally love, but it is a lot of this last chapter. So as I said previously, I thought I'd be breaking this up into 3 videos, but I think it's probably going to be more like 4. So let's go ahead and get started. So where we left off, the last question or statement that someone made had to do with them focusing on the earth as often as they could and wondering if this made a difference in the troubled age that we are in. And, just wondering whether this goes on, whether the good things or the bad things still happen or it makes any difference. And let's see. And so the next question is, so when I do it, my tuning into it does not make any difference. What is going on? You may enhance it, but it is still there. And the only manner that you enhance it is by allowing it to be however it is without judging how it is. Now, the rub for many of you is to go forth and gaze into the murkiness of your rivers and gaze unto the most beauteous. That is the rub. Gaze unto the caverns that have been created through the mining and the forests that are bare and see them as beauteous. To gaze indeed into the heavens above and see the stew of the broth that is created as a consomme of the clouds. Is that what you would call it? Some would call it air pollution. To see it as beauteous, to gaze unto the grand hole above the Antarctica as beauteous. To gaze unto those that you would consider to be warriors and devastators of the plain as beauteous. To gaze unto the grand diseasement you call AIDS as wondrous. Now that is the test of your perception of divinity in all that is. So he's basically saying that no matter what you're viewing, you need to view it as something of beauty, not just the obvious beauty that we look at, but everything as beauty, even what we look at as disaster, treacherous, corruption, crime, evil, and heinous. We need to meet it all with beauty and love, is what he's saying. So he's saying that this man tuning into the earth constantly and sending it this love and light and imagining this love and light, yes, it is something nice to do, but it doesn't change. It doesn't really change what's happening. It can help enhance the earth, but it's not going to change in this essence, I suppose. It is not to view a flower as beauteous. It is to view a warrior as beauteous because he is expressing a creative expression of God. And paradoxically, the moment you view whatever it is that you would have previously judged as wondrous and beauteous, you change it. You transmute it. You clarify it, but allowing yourself to gaze upon it in the first place without judgment and condition is where indeed the opportunity of your own birthing process will come. The abusers of children, that is the verbiage you have given it, to honor them and respect them as God, to love them. Know that they too are divine, and whatever they do is divine, because they are God that has chosen the doing. The dolphins and the whales, they have embraced their brothers. They have acknowledged that all is divine and have come unto this plane to embrace their brothers called humanity, into a delightful expression of play and creation of heaven and earth. Of heaven on earth. When they swim in the ocean and then spin within the air and remerge back into the waters of the ocean, do you know when they do this, they slice into a different dimension, the ocean of air. They go from the ocean of water to the ocean of air with ease and delight, and back again into the water. Interdimensional they are, and they delight of it all. As you would gaze unto the ravaged earth, gaze not into her ravishment. Gaze into her replenishment. You may replenish her resources with the creation born of your thought. Revibrancy may be born into the atmosphere. Clarity may be culminated through your consciousness. The heaviness upon the cities that you call your smog, it is only a reflection of the heaviness of your judgment of it. Do you know that if you are lighthearted and loving of every atom of it, It will disappear. Try it. When you are within the room where someone is participating with a grand smoking stick and it is insisting in caressing your nostrils, allow yourself to love it. If you judge it, allow yourself to love it and watch it go the other direction. Watch it. Create this play with your drama of life. It does this, believe me, and all of life will begin to create harmony about you if you do not judge it. View it, the smoke, as a sort of incense, and once it desires its creation within your nostrils and you harmonize with it, watch it go elsewhere to create the opportunity of harmony somewhere else, until all embrace it and then it is no more. That is the nature of life. Question. Beloved I am, you have told us that there have been many ascended masters. And then he kind of trails off. And Saint Germain says, have been? There are, and you are one of them. And the person with the question or the statement says, thank you, I appreciate that. But among the names that I have heard you mention, I have not noticed any women. Could you tell us something about that? All womankind is ascended master, as is mankind. If you would desire to personify a particular exemplification and demonstration of womankind as an ascended master, that is separating them from all the rest. That which is ascended master is all that is beloved. Separation is dogmatic and of a hierarchical formation and is of the Piscean age. And the person says, yes, I understand that. I think what I wanted to hear is, why say Jesus Christ, Buddha, and other people all seem to have been of male gender? And he says, they demonstrated in the past as male personification because the consciousness of your plane was male. It is now coming into balance, and it is not male or female. It is both in oneness. Not one or the other, and not even really both, because it transmutes as soon as it becomes integrated and intertwined into the creation of all that is. It is really neither. The masculine consciousness of your plane is what desires all the holes to be filled, literally, all the spaces in consciousness to be filled, a desire to understand. And if there is a space that is not filled with understanding, they desire to go forth and fill it with something to create understanding and label it. And therefore, they have very many compartments, all with a particular label, and they feel very satisfied with themselves. But I will tell you this, beloved, all the labels are now coming off, and all the drawers are being allowed to be immersed into oneness. Male consciousness upon the plane was the ultimate desire to go forth and find the perfect manila envelope in which to file yourself. You will come to know that a filing system is an organized manner of misplacing things. That is the truth. You know what I mean, do you not? It is now time to know that there is no misplacing of anything, for there is no place to misplace anything to. It is all belonging to the river of I am. And indeed, what you call manila envelope and filing system and all the labels that you have created into your consciousness of masculine nature is disappearing because the label is transmuting itself into I am. Indeed, so be it. I tell you this, who you are is wondrously brilliant. You are all God's in design, and you state unto me, I am. Yet you walk out of this door and immediately have an identity crisis. You do, you know, and know indeed that when you have this Christ is, that the answer is all of the above. I am is all of the above. You are judgmental and you are non-judgmental, and therefore you are I am. Embrace them all, and as you do thusly, you embrace the planet. It is ravaged and it is replenished, and therefore it is. I am indeed. Question. Could you please tell us what the role of churches will be in times to come? Shake, rattle, and roll, he says. They will not come into a grand vision of change. Their hierarchy will begin to disintegrate and begin to understand a different manner of perception of life and divinity. It is already occurring. The Pope of your now is changing and shifting the perceptions within the body of the church. And it is creating quite a bit of chitter-chatter among the illumined of the church, because he is grandly different, as is Gorbachev. But he operates also within a certain direction of limitation, so that it is a harmonious treading of that particular thread of limitation as well. Now, all dogma, all religions, the ancient Eastern traditions, the Western civilized understanding called Church of Christian Nature, all of it will come into the transition as part of the birthing process. The great prudes will come to know their divinity in the fashion called humility. The grandest understanding of divinity is seeing through the eyes of humility, and they too shall know this. Honoring the nature of all that is. It is ultimately up to them how they shall embrace this opportunity, but it will come unto them, and they will be reflecting the nature of their planetary changes as they shift their consciousness and crumble their walls to create anew, a castle of Christus. Thank you, beloved. The next person says, greetings. Could you give us some information about a blue cloud? A cloud that I understand has emanated from Sirius, and which seems to be hovering above Australia and New Zealand. And he says, curious you call it a cloud. I would have called it a collective cohesive consciousness called craft. And the person says, craft? It is not a physical craft as you would perceive physicality to be, but it allows the electrons within the atmosphere to integrate with one another, to reflect a certain understanding of light and cohesive energy, to culminate into the illusion of a body of energy you call cloud. But you will note it is very different to a cloud formation, and it has the hue of blue because that is what the star called Sirius resonates to. And the person says, thank you. I was wondering, when the planet was seeded, you referred to this seeding. Sirius was grandly involved in this, most especially in the Atlantean and Egyptian understanding, which came forth later. That which is dolphin is of Sirius, and they were star-seeded into the Atlantean. Their consciousness was contained within the continent of Lemuria, and they interbred with the Atlanteans. Question. There is a heavy trend of people to personally use crystals for their own growth and advancement. Is that wrong? And again, he's going to say there is no right or wrong, and what is crystalline will not give you any advancement. Only you give you advancement. You are the power source, not it. It is a reflector. It is a facet of the mineral kingdom, mirroring the understanding of Christ all, for you to gaze upon and understand your own nature. As I stated before, you do not have to have its physical presence in order to have its consciousness with you. Question. I wish to know how to manifest for the changes in the future in a way that is gentle and harmonious. Know that you are always supported, regardless of how it is. Know that you are always supported magically. All that you would desire as support will come unto you without you limiting it as how it has to occur, how it must come unto you, how it is to be manifested. For you see, your gold will disappear. So will the old understanding of foodstuffs eventually, for you will not require them. You are in the process of birthing into the non-requirement of it. You will sustain each other through the exchange of your energy flows, golden energy flows, and you will be constantly wearing the garment of golden, for that will be your light. All right, beloved? The illusion of gold as coin and clinker in your purse, it is an experience, to be sure, called the game of prosperity, the game of abundance and success and failure, limitation of life upon the plane, and the game of understanding of judgment of the haves and have-nots. Did I tell you the forebears of the haves and have-nots, or the knows and know-nots? Those who know, they are the creator of their life, and they are empowered to create the drama of their life how they wish it to be. They are the ones that bestow themselves grandly with abundance untold. Abundance untold, is that what you do not report to the income tax department? Indeed. And sustenance, it will always be there for you. For as you caress nature, nature will supply you forever. You are the prince of your own provision, all of you. Foodstuffs align unto you into this provision when you align into is with the non-requirement of it. It is a paradox, but it is knowing that you are always synchronistically experiencing life in a joyous now moment in the isness of it, and to be without frustration or fetterment into the heavy burdens of yesterday and the whirlwinds of tomorrow. You may, if you desire, change a piece of your verbiage from today into to now, and it will shift your focus of a limitation of a day into a now. And so you will begin to experience an infinite acceleration of the momentum into the creation of your life. Question. My question concerns correct discrimination. For example, when disharmony occurs in one's life, it seems I could choose to embrace it as you suggested, or I could move so that I remove myself from the disharmonious circumstance. I think both of those would be okay. However, which would be best? There is no better or best. Both are judgmental. Did you know that? Removing yourself from a situation consciously, you judge that it is not all right. But if you allow your flow and your heart's desire to create your experience elsewhere, what you remove yourself from will not come unto your experience. That is a paradox, but that is life. You will find many paradoxes within your life, for it is created of the energy of paradox, the nature of polarity. Now, the embracing of it is allowing it to be all right and not disharmonious, so you would not perceive disharmony within it in the first place. But if you do, honor your judgment, embrace your own judgment, embrace the circumstance and allow the circumstance to be transmuted. It is not an avoidance, it is an awareness of transmutation. You may change it simply by allowing it to be in love. Very likened unto the rock and the brook. The giggling waters, they don't say, move rock, move out of my way. I wish you to be elsewhere. They encounter the rock in delight and say, ah, I love you. And when you are in this particular position, say, I allow you to be and I create my energy elsewhere. And I love you and I caress you with my nurturing waters. There is a difference. It is lightheadedness and a love and an honor that is within it, rather than, oh, you are awful and I do not want to experience you, and I will go up on a hill where it is a bit more harmonious. Do you understand? Your options all contain a certain amount of opportunity to perceive judgment, but the same opportunity is there to perceive non-judgment, all right? And they say, thank you. The question that has been going through my mind regards you being here in a point in space. Are you not everywhere? And every when, he says. Indeed, that is omnipresence. In your understanding of you, you will come to know that you are too everywhere and every when. The illusion of your life is the illusion of God, the I am, coming forth upon the plane, to create the forever river of limitation into the brilliance of the God that be within the limitation, to unfold it into its wondrous birthing, unto newness called superconsciousness. Now, is there water, a bit of water? You may toast me with the chalice of your heart. The water enables the electromagnetic energy in this instrument to flow a bit more harmoniously, and someone offers Saint Germain a glass of water. Would you like a refill, they ask him, because it was so fine, would you like a refill? And he says, oh, but of course. Have you ever noticed how calming and how refreshing it is to hear water being poured? Be like the water, gurgle and giggle, and therefore there will be bubbles coming forth from within the deep of your very thought. Be effervescent and create bubbles of laughter and dance and delight and song. Place yourself with friskiness and festivity and participate with life as the ultimate dance of delight. So be it. Thank you for your refreshment. It tasted wondrously. Okay, so the next one. This is a longer one, so I think we will stop after this one. Yeah, we'll see how long this takes, this answer here. Greetings, I am. You spoke of the new consciousness in the Soviet Union and in the papacy. Could you speak of that consciousness in the United States and Australia? They are sisters born of the same motherin. The sisters you call America and Australia. Notice even the similarity of the vibrations of the names of these continents. They both begin and end with alpha, and they are very similar in consciousness, likened unto twin sisters. Born very close to the same point in history, they come forth to unite and embrace one another, and they will help the rest of the earth to understand the resonance of sister to sister, brother to brother. They will stand in their glory and grandeur of sovereignty. America, the North American continent, is the crown seal of the earth. In its desire to be in the diamond light of all that is, it will merge in honor eventually with the understanding of not only democracy, but divinity. There will be a grand shifting and changing and a transmutation of the governmental structure. This will occur in Australia as well. However, because it is the younger sister, it will be a bit later in your chronology. Now, the heart chakra and the crown chakra are both very, very intimately and intricately involved in the birth of Earth. The heart chakra also encompasses Hawaii. The heart chakra is Australia. Hawaii is also part of the crown chakra. Much energy will be given forth in this area because it is a concentric circle joined together in the merging and blending of the two energies. It is where the embrace touches in tangible form, and as it begins to blend, it is not only blending westward, it is blending eastward, for the motherin of both is east, which is Britain or the United Kingdom. It too will transmute its governmental structure, as it is already beginning to. The focus of energy therein, and Aylesbury, Glastonbury, and many of the areas that are of ancient Druid understanding are coming forth now. To be the Merlin reborn, to be the Arthur reborn. Do you know what Arthur was? It was a personification of an understanding of alignment and honor of godship, of awe around the round table. There was none who was at the head of the table, for all were conjoined in a circle of equality, and all were honored, and all represented certain vibratory resonances of the 13 original soul bodies. So the eastward experience of it will go forth from the United Kingdom into Russia and into China, and will blend yet again as it merges into North America, which is conjoined with Australia. Now, China has been called the Red Nation. It indeed does resonate to this particular polarity, but it is becoming aligned through the very nature of its ancient wisdom into awareness. So red will be transmuted and shifted into the white. There are some of consciousnesses within this nation, as there are within many other nations, who will desire to control the world, it appears. But like your churches, they will also be brought into the opportunity to experience humility. It is the balancing. So fear not, all is well on the Western Front and on the Eastern Front. Greetings, I am. I would like to ask where my brothers who do not wish to embrace superconsciousness will go, and what sort of time will pass before they desire to embrace superconsciousness. It is ultimately up to them. Each one has the opportunity in every now moment to embrace superconsciousness. They will go to the same place they are now. Earth is now a third density consciousness. Her own auric field is third density. And when fourth density or superconsciousness comes upon the plane, it will not be perceiving third density, and third density will not be perceiving fourth density, for they will be different dimensions then. Now they are coexistent dimensions. And when superconsciousness prevails, the shift will occur, and that is called a rapture. It is ultimately up to them when they desire to experience the other dimensional realities and realms of unlimited life. It may be the next moment, it may be eons of lifetimes hence, but ultimately all shall, all right? So be it. You spoke of Australia and America representing or manifesting the heart and crown seals. Where are the other seals in the Earth's body or the Earth's physical form, particularly with regard to the Russian continent and Africa? Africa is called the Kundalini energy, the fire energy. Russia, the bear country, is merged and blended with Europe. It is Eurasia, and it is the liver and solar plexus. Could you speak on the act of sexual union between men and women apart from giving birth and being a great time? What healing aspects, if any, are experienced? Is it the man connecting with his feminine and vice versa, or, and they kind of trail off. Oh, but of course, it is homogenization of both, each unto the other. Male experiences male, and female experiences male and female. And when they embrace one another, they exchange across the borders of their auric fields. And the creation of orgasm is merely the explosion of understanding of joy in this merging. It is really born of thought rather than physical creation. I have read that somewhere. Orgasm is not from a physical place. It is from the mind. It is all in the mind and in a thought. Do you know this? Omnipotence is born forth in this fashion as well. And as you let this explosion go forth through your thought and to the rest of the universe, you may create powerful expressions of your ultimate creativity, your reproduction into your life of coagulated matter. Now, sexual expression will shift and change also in your life to come into super consciousness. For the lower and higher seals will become centered in the heart, and therefore you will not experience in this earth plane the heavy and dense energies, nor will they be experienced as airy-fairy as you have thought it to be. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, really. In the merging and blending, there will be a coupling of consciousness of the heart. And in this coupling, there will be born and birthed an awareness of new life. In superconsciousness, there will be physical birthing, but it will not be fraught with pain. And it will not only be the creation of physical merging. There will be many immaculate conceptions born through thought, light impregnation. So it will also be a grand time. Will it be as much fun? Someone asks. Indeed. What is fun, beloved, but a joyous experience and play? Beloved, I am part of a study group on the book of the I Am by Godfrey Ray King. Within this book, there is talk that one shouldn't indulge in trance. Within our group, we have 2 people bringing forth messages of love, guidance, and wisdom, and I do not understand how this can be wrong. Indeed, there is no right or wrong, beloved. There are no shoulds or should nots either. This particular creation of dogma was appropriate for that timing. It was many years ago in your 30s of chronological understanding, and in that timing it was harmonious. But it is now the ripeness of time to be a springboard for further unlimitedness. Not for all, for some, those whose hearts allow them to resonate to a further knowing, and those who resonate to limited knowing, it is divine. For it is the ripeness for their experience in that now moment, so judge them not. I am a soul that has always existed, and on the basis that I elected to come to this dimension to experience, and then I guess that's what somebody is saying, and he says, and you received a unanimous vote. I don't really know what that was supposed to be. Okay. The concept of choosing my parents, is that a concept that is realistic? In other words, that I chose my parents for the experiences they would learn from me. And he says, no, not at all, but that you would learn from each other. It was a mutually coordinated desire manifested for the reflection of all concerned. Honoring the divinity within everyone else will allow you the understanding of humility, for you are learning from them as well, beloved brother. Do you know what you are learning? Would you so desire that I tell you what you are learning? And of course he says yes. So he tells him, you are learning how to release and allow others to be within their limitation and to bless them. And then he says, can I ask you another question? In terms, oh wait, this is a really long one, so let me see here. Trying to see just how much we have left because, as I said, there's like 40 to 50 pages of this, and not all the questions or the answers, I should say, are extremely long, but some of them are, and I don't want to make a bunch of more 45-minute videos, but I also don't want to make too many videos, so I'm sort of and stuck in a rock and a hard spot here. Let's see. Okay, we'll read one more and then we'll stop right there. So in terms of computers and the role they play in our society, I wonder what sort of role they will play in our society as we evolve further. This is indeed a grand expression that I would desire to share with you. Your computer is a manifested illusion that is accepted as a valid symbol of ascended consciousness by your technological society. Your technologist shall indeed create a voice box into which you speak and which has intellect that is self-aware. Remember, this was written in the early 1990s, okay? And these transmissions or manifest, or the, what's it called that she's doing, the channeling, these were done between 1986 and 1989. So some of this we may see right now. Okay. So let's see. Your technologist shall indeed create a voice box into which you speak and which has intellect that is self-aware. Consciousness that you may communicate with through your computer. I will tell you this, they will state to the commercial market, voila, herein is a grand piece of machinery with which you may converse through this grand box that has within it assemblage of a mysterious new technology. I will tell you a thing, it is empty. It is a symbol that is allowed so that you may converse with the unlimited being that you are through the reflection called machinery. You are beginning to ascend into this understanding. Artificial intelligence is only unlimited intelligence that is not recognized as your own. Your microchip is only the crystalline within every atom of your being that is included with all the experience of all that is. It contains unlimited bytes of wisdom. There are times when you have lockjaw and you desire not to participate of so many bytes at a time, and you experience congestion. So you carry yourself to your local dentist and you ask him, oh, why do I have this horrendous ache of a tooth, the jaw, the gum? And you place within your mouth the down payment for a house and allow indeed the pain to manifest elsewhere, for it will continue to manifest until you understand its origination, which is non-acknowledgement of your power to bite off and chew whatever amount of I amness, a glorious experience, what some would call discordant energy. Then there is accelerated life experience, for you bite off and ingest more and more energy into your system. You will not carry yourselves to your physician's offices, your psychologist's offices, indeed. It is because you are allowing the diversity and uniqueness of life to display itself without judgment of separation. And the judgment and separation carries itself into your nations, you know. There have always been those within the Western world that have stated, beware, there is a communist. But the communist is providing a grand service indeed. How else would the Western world scare themselves into being friends with each other? So it is all back to the beginning where there is no beginning. You are all the same energy viewed through different mirrors. Some of you desire to have the rear view, that is all right. You gaze across your shoulder into the archaeology of your past called past life therapy, Desiring to know who you were rather than knowing who you are, which is part of who you were, but that is not all of who you are. For who you are is also who you shall be. You continue in the constant search to know that which be you, forever yearning and seeking, forever on the pathway of lack of understanding. You know indeed that the pathway is you, and you can never be off yourselves. So you can never be off your pathway. The detours, they may be bumpy, but you may take a joyride and have experience. Likened unto a child when they go over a bump and they love it. You too may allow life to be a grand circus, 3-ring circus. The ring of your heart, the ring of your solar plexus, and the ring of your crown, concentric in their union. Then you will not search so fervently for a mate, for the mate of you is you, and the mate of your planet is Mother Earth, and she is conjoining with herself to birth a new awareness. Did you ever consider that your planet is married? Some of your planets are single and some have rings, but she is merging and blending with the male energy of herself. She is penetrating herself with the I amness, the source energy of all that is. And she is also in ultimate reception. She is also in the ultimate reception. I lost my place because I almost dropped my phone. Of it at the same time. That is why there are so many of you with such urgency of your sexual nature in your now, because you also desire to go forth and penetrate. The urgency to give forth and spew forth the ultimate energy of life, the creation of all that is. You also, in the same now moment, are so yearning to receive it, and you are reaching out to yourself in the giving and reception, for it is the same event. Therefore, your sexual nature will become enhanced, and it is the root energy, the regenerative energy that is coming forth. Let it enhance the regenerative energy of your planet, of Terra. For her sexual energy is the spewing forth of all volcanoes and the allowance of herself to receive your energy. The fire of life comes forth, connected with your heart through your root. Root yourself into the planet as a terminal point, as a point of focus or concentration, and let the flow continue through your heart, bathing and basking within its brilliant diamond light, and continue it into your third eye to co-create the reality, the vision, your dream into experience. Therefore, it will be indeed an enhancement also of your psychic energies, your sensory perceptions, your telepathy, your understanding of empathy of your brothers. That is why so many are becoming open to the awareness of starvation upon the planet, and indeed the planet herself, as she is beginning to birth, and her urgency to reunite with herself. The allowance of the flow to continue into the crown will bring forth godship, the crowing and reigning and dominion upon the plane of the all that is, blessed in the beingness called humanity. Now, the chatter of your mind, the doubts and the can't and shoulds and shouldn'ts and all the judgments and limitations, it is indeed likened unto a diadem or a diadem. It too is a crown that is between your third eye and your crown seal, and it brings pressure into this area, so between the third eye and your crown seal. You feel at times a grand migraine. Flow into it and allow expansion of this crown to be blended with the I am crown of that which be you. The chatter is merged and blended with the Christus, for the chatter is anti-Christus, which brings forth the doubting of your divinity, and it is merged and blended. The polarities are united into freedom of being. So it is not getting rid of the chatter in your mind and quieting it, it is allowing it into silence, or it is allowing it to silence. Honor it, listen to it, hear it, understand it, acknowledge it, have compassion for it, and embrace it as you would a child. Perceive it as a gift, for without it, you would not be. Did you know that? The polarity that allows you to continue to be grounded into physical dimension is this particular understanding of Antichristus. And as you align it, you will become lighter, less dense, more transparent. But honor it, for it has afforded you this exquisite, delicious expression of being human. And in this, you have enhanced God. Okay, so we'll stop with that one. I think that's plenty to go along with, as I've given plenty for each video reading this book. Okay. So we'll stop right there, and we will just pick up right where we left off in our next video of chapter 9, going on with our questions and answers on a variety of things. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm enjoying this book. I hope you are too. It is a lot of information. I am going to have to go back and reread it, or even just re-listen to it for sure. Definitely some of these chapters, and you may have to do the same, but that's okay. I love listening to him. He's such a loving energy to connect with, and I really enjoy it, and I hope that you do as well. So until next time, please take care of yourself, please take care of those around you, and I will see you again very soon for our next segment of chapter 9. Okay, bye-bye.